Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to 2026. And welcome to a Saturday stream. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is, whatever day it is. I hope that the weekend has been treating you well, and welcome back to the stream. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here on a Saturday, the first Saturday stream that we have had in a long while. And of course, welcome back in to the cult of bad tactical decisions, where you fucking donkeys have been going ham already before the stream even starts, as you typically tend to do. But maybe it's because it's a new year. Maybe it's because it's a Saturday. I don't know. But you guys seem to be in rare form today. So anyway, thanks for joining me again. Glad to see you. Glad to be here. Glad to be back on the Bezos TV for some more stompy robot action again. For those of you, and again, I'm gonna immediately transition into talk time, into the yap. So for those of you that obviously got the message, I got a call from my boss a little bit earlier this week, and was essentially told that we were, I guess because it's a new year, I don't really know, but for whatever reason, my schedule is changing. So where before I was off on Sundays, and that's the day that I decided to do the streams, because that was the time I actually had off. This time around, for whatever reason, my schedule has been changed, and now I'm off on Saturdays and not on Sundays. So yes, that means I have to go back to work tomorrow, but it means that we can get our Saturday streams back, which I know is better for most of you guys. I know there were a few people that were happy when we changed over to Sundays, but by and large, it definitely, I think, benefits more of the members of the cult, more of the donkeys are able to join us on Saturdays as opposed to Sundays, especially the folks living down under like Travis and Capsty, who, for various reasons, like, you know, living in Australia, are having to wake up very, very early on Monday morning in order to catch the stream, and then watch as much of it as they can before they have to go to work on Monday mornings. So for those folks, at least, switching over to a Saturday stream is much, much better, because now you guys are well and truly smack dab in the middle of your weekend. And again, I know there's a lot of other folks that had other engagements on Sundays and things like that. So I'm hoping with a return to Saturday streams, it will just be better for everyone, or for most people. Again, you're never going to make everybody happy. Whether it's content creation, entertainment, anything like that, there's always going to be somebody who's not happy. But hopefully this is the most good for the most people, which is always my goal. And already I have seen, good lord, there's so many people that I have not seen in streams in quite some time, rolling up in here. Let me see, just to start off, I mean, obviously we got the regulars, we got Swift Draw, Black Hydra, Yes Now, so some of the old hands that are always here before the stream starts. But man, we got Flint U Wood, we got CVEX showing up early, which is rare on a Sunday. Let's see, I've seen, who else did I saw some names in here. I saw Elijah Snow, again, BPL royalty, joining us here in the cult of bad tactical decisions. Hasn't been able to be in the stream for a very long time. Again, mostly because of the whole Sunday thing, but now that we're on Saturdays, they're able to join us. Let's see, we got Game Master showing up as well. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Game Master Hub. Thanks for joining us as always. Showing up on a Saturday, showing up at the very beginning of the stream as well. Again, because it's a Saturday instead of a Sunday. But yeah, we got We got all sorts of folks out here in the chat. I'm not going to say hi to everybody, but you know who you are. Again, good to see you guys. And as always, like I said, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining me. I don't really have a whole lot of news this week. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, chat. I have spent, for those of you that were not here for the last couple of streams, I've been on PTO for about 2 weeks. And I have spent the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 days just sleeping. Mostly. I mean, it's not the only thing I've been doing. I've been doing other stuff too, but good lord, it's been yeah. It's been nice. It's been nice to just like so I've said this before. I said this after I ended up getting a job. The one thing that I miss about being unemployed was I lived my life on my own schedule. Like, I didn't have to worry about when I woke up, when I went to sleep. Like, if I happened to find a really good series on Amazon Prime or on Netflix and I wanted to just binge that shit until 5 o'clock in the morning, I could do that. And it didn't matter that I didn't end up waking up until 11, 12, 1 o'clock the next day. Like, that was the best part about being unemployed, was never having to worry about when I slept, when I woke up. As like, the only time that it mattered was if I had a job interview. And at that point it was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'll wake up at 9 a.m. I'll be a responsible adult and go to bed at a decent time and wake up at 9 a.m. so I can go to a job interview. But yeah, like, it's that and I've said before, I don't like my job. I'm looking for work elsewhere. I'm definitely looking for work elsewhere. But for the time being, it pays the bills. At the same time, it's, for me, PTO is dangerous because then it does this, like, it reminds me of how much better life is when you don't have to work at a place that you hate. And like, I have given serious thought to just going in and putting in my 2 weeks. I'm not gonna do it, but I've given it some serious thought over the last couple of days, over the last week or so. That's how much I don't like my job. Is just a couple of weeks off has been enough to convince me maybe I should just quit. And I've said before, I'm not a quitter. I don't quit jobs. I've only ever quit a couple of jobs in my life. One of them was working for Walmart. It was the very first job that I ever had. I quit that job, but I quit that job because they were going to fire me anyway. Like, they were coming up with the excuses that they needed to fire me anyway, so I just went ahead and preempted them and quit. And then there's another job that I quit as well, but I'm not going to talk about that one. But I'm not a quitter, right? Almost every job that I've lost, it was because I was laid off. I've been with a lot of companies that closed down, and I was one of the people that helped shut the doors for the last time. So, like, I'm more than happy to stick around with companies. I don't mind as long as there's some benefit. And this job that I have now is just, it's so soul crushing that it makes me want to quit. And again, I'm not a quitter. Mama didn't raise no quitter. But man, that's and maybe it's just because I'm coming down off 2 weeks of PTO, and like, I'm just dreading having to go back to the grind. I don't know. There's a lot of factors. Maybe once I'm back into it, I'll settle into a groove again and it'll be fine. But I'm just... Anyway, but we're here for positivity, chat. We're here to have a good time. We're not here to, lament the ending of the holiday season. Replicas, they literally wanted you to work without sleep. This is true. For those of you that missed my rants during one of the other streams over the holiday season, my boss, because of their own shitty planning and their own inability to plan ahead, basically had nobody working the week before Christmas and wanted me to work a double. That is 2 shifts back to back, basically work 18 to 20 hours a day for 5 days straight for the entire week in order to cover for his fucking stupidity. And like that being the last thing that I had to deal with before I went on PTO, and knowing now that he's already changing my schedule before I even come back to work. Again, it's just reminding me of all the reasons that I hate the job. But I'll tell you what I don't hate, chat, is some motherfucking stompy robot action. And that's what you guys are here for. So that's what we're going to get into here in just a minute. There we go. No transition, direct over. There we go. Here we are, chat, with the scuff out of the fucking way. Back in the inner sphere, back over the world of Vega. And of course, back in the Argo, ready to get some work done. And before I forget, let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and hit the thing. So you guys have got game audio. 46 minutes before gameplay. I mean, Black Hydra, is this your first day here or what? I know normally I yap until at least an hour and 15 minutes before we get to the game. But today is a new year, new me. It's time to go. We're gonna get this shit done, chat. So, I guess the last part of the last stream, chat did a vote and decided we were gonna stop picking on clanners and we were gonna head out towards Terran Hegemony space so that we can fight Comstar, Blakists, and of course the Fanfic faction itself, mostly because the idea is we want to get our hands on some C3I and some other Star League era technology. Now, you'll notice the timeline has got a lot of stuff in it that wasn't there before we finished off the last stream. And that is because, for those of you that are on the Discord, you'll already know, I've been working on doing some stuff between streams, in order to kind of align things a little better. So one of the things that I talked about towards the end of last stream was breaking down the company into lances. And the reason that I wanted to do that was because at the moment, the way that I've been doing things is to basically just say, okay, well, I'm only going to put in the pilots that need experience, and the more senior pilots are going to sit on the sideline. And what that means is that, unfortunately, some of our pilots are either not getting into missions at all, or they're only getting into missions every once in a while, instead of getting regular rotation. So what I've done, and again, if you're on the Discord, you may already know this, I already keep pretty extensive campaign notes whenever we play like a BTA campaign. I have put some of those notes into a spreadsheet on Google Sheets that you guys can view whenever you want. And one of the things that I did was break down the roster into different lances. And we're going with the Inner Sphere lance composition of 4 mechs per lance. The idea being that rather than swapping out pilots based on their experience level, we'll just swap out lances on a recurring basis. And then that way, whichever lance has been used, like that way everybody gets a chance to get on the battlefield. We spread out the experience a little more evenly. The way that I've done it, I'm not going to go into like the... Can't say echo today. Listen, I didn't say echo. I'm not gonna say echo. We don't have an echo yet. I mean, okay, so technically I guess we have an Echo Lance, it's just the vehicles. I'm just calling that the Vehicle Lance. Now, if we get to a point somewhere down the line where we have so many vehicles that we need to set up a second Vehicle Lance, we can talk about that. But for now, we just have Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta. And if you don't like that, suck a wet fart out of my ass. How about that? But anyway, what I've done is essentially to take... We currently, in the barracks, have 4 pilots that are still left over from ye olden days. And specifically, it's Megas, has been with the company for 766 days. CVEX has been with the company for 766 days. Vin is another one of the OGs. And I'm trying to remember who the last one was. Shit. Was it Wasteland? No, it wasn't Wasteland, because Wasteland had to fill in. Hold on, chat. This is why I have campaign notes, so I don't have to remember this shit. Let me pull it up. Oh, no, it was. I was thinking it was Vio. It is, in fact, Vio. No, it's not Vio. Vin, CVEX, Megas. Who was the other one? Oh, God. I can't believe I forgot this. Good lord. Obviously, it's crappy. Also in for 766 days. So those are our 4... I'm not going to say that they're the Lance leaders, necessarily. Just that I wanted to put in... at least one of the OG veterans in every Lance. And then, of course, we have the rest of the folks split up based on... I've tried to make all the Lances generalist, because if I specialize the Lances too much, then it creates a tendency to want to use certain Lances for certain things, which then means, oops, maybe this Lance doesn't get used because we don't need a Scout Lance. Or this Lance doesn't get used because we don't need an Artillery Lance. So by making the Lances more generalist, it means that everybody gets an equal shot at taking the field. That being said, I've tried to put one fast scout and skirmisher, one heavy mech, and then a couple of what I call linebackers or line mechs. The just kind of like mid-range, mid-tonnage. They're the brawlers. They're the ones that get stuck in, do the fighting. We'll see how it works. We'll see how it works. Mega says, since I'm in the Quagmire, we got the Weed with Cheech and Chong, our DJ with Panic at the Disco, and the Raver with the Ryokan. This is true. This is true. And I'm giving the folks in the stream, the stream roster channel on the Discord, if you guys want to, like, come up with a different name for your Lance, that's fine. Specifically, the Alpha Lance folks decided they wanted to call themselves the Trinity Lance, because they happen to have a member from the Taurian Concordat, Canopia, or Canopus, and, the Origan Coalition, the faction that I don't like. But then, like, you've also got Liao as well, because technically, according to Erst, or, I'm sorry, according to the game, Erst is from Liao in this campaign. I like to imagine that that's just where he was when we picked him up. You know. Canonically, Erst is obviously from Rosselhague, but I'd like to think that we picked him up in Liao space, in Capellan space. But for the record, just so that you know.
Come, Nerevar, friend or traitor, come.
He's an honest criminal from Liao space. So, I'm just saying, if you're in Capellan space and they consider you a criminal, it's probably because you don't stab people in the back, which is the law, And he's honest, which by definition automatically disqualifies him from being a native Capellan. Yeah, he stabs you in the front, which, again, like everything about this character sheet is anti-Capellan. So, I'm just saying, like, canonically, I just imagine, like I said, Capellan space is just where we found him. It's not where he's from. Anyway, chat, the other thing we need to look at is obviously the mech bay, because we've got a lot of work going on in the mech bay, and a lot of it's going to be very quick and easy work, but in the interests of keeping things at a lance level, at an organizational level, I have done some modifications. Now, obviously the work still needs to be done. What I'll do instead, I was going to just tell you about it, but what I'll do is I'll fast forward through some of this. Yeah, okay, fine. And then I'll show you what it is exactly that we've done, so that you can see how we've updated some of the mechs. I don't know how this is gonna work, so I'm gonna do that. And then we'll do this. God damn it. Mysteries of the Sixth House. Chad, if you don't get the reference, this is how you get the Dagoth pilot. Now, again, we have a standing house rule that we don't use Ronin pilots or other custom pilots. Yes, of the tribe unmourned, correct. I'm not gonna take him, but I think it's funny because we have Erst using the Dagoth voice pack already. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first gave him the Dagoth voice pack way back in the previous campaign, I did just very briefly consider making that his portrait. But then I found out that Dagoth was actually already in the game as an Easter egg pilot. And so that's kind of where that went, and I never did anything with it afterwards. And yeah, so that's basically where we are with that. So I'm not gonna accept a second Dagoth but what? Speaking of scuff, yes, in the first campaign I did use a portrait of Conan from the first movie. Chap, I don't know if you've noticed, the model has kind of started to have an issue. I am frozen in place. I'm not entirely sure why. You should be able to change the voice. Yeah, I can, but don't get the wrong idea. I gave Erst the Dagoth voice on purpose. It was not an accident. I gave him that voice. But, yeah, chat, we're having a little bit of scuff. Hold on. Why? Is it because it's 2026? Is that why you're fucking around, Streamlabs? Ugh. I apologize, chat. I don't know what's going on right now. Let me see if I can figure it out. Okay. So, I just want to point out, I don't know if this is like because of, I mean, don't get me wrong, I wasn't especially animated to begin with, but I wonder if this has got something to do with the whole stop support for Windows 10, because I'm still running Windows 10. Because, ever since that end-of-life update where they were like, hey, fuck you, you're on your own now, either upgrade to the shittiest version of Windows that's ever existed, or watch as the current Windows that you're using slowly collapses. So, yeah, I don't know. But it feels like ever since they stopped support with Windows 10, I've been having more and more issues. Just completely random issues. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, chat. Back to what we were talking about, for fuck's sake, which is the mech bay. Also, sorry, the music... I love the Hard Space soundtrack, but the music's gonna distract me, so... Because then I'm gonna want to just dance. Anyway... Things that we changed out, chat, just so you're up to speed. First and foremost, we did a little bit of work to the crab. And I didn't really change all that much, except I went ahead and changed out the engine core to a little bit lighter core so they could add a little bit more armor to it. Because originally this thing didn't have a whole lot of armor, so I went ahead and downgraded the core from like a 230 to a 225 so that we could add a little more armor. It didn't affect the movement profile, so we're still at a 4.6 with the crab. It just essentially decreased our heat a little bit, which isn't that big a deal because we're still technically heat neutral. But this was a fairly minor update that I made just to give it a little more survivability. Because we've had a couple of instances already where the crab takes some heavy fire. And I wanted to give it a little more durability in the face of indirect fire. So the crab was relatively minor in terms of changes. I also made a minor refit to the Ben Richards. And Chase Andy on a Saturday rolling into the chat saying hello Maria and Chad. Good to see you, Chase Andy. Thanks for joining us as always. And hopefully the weekend has been treating you well so far. I also made a slight adjustment to the Ben Richards, replacing the clan medium pulse lasers that we had in it with some medium X pulses. Technically this decreases our damage potential by just a tiny little bit. It only decreases the total damage output by like 6 damage in total. But the X-pulse lasers get bonus accuracy, whereas the pulse lasers, the clan pulse lasers, just ignore evasion. Now the reason that's significant is increased accuracy just makes them hit more often, whereas ignoring evasion means that the enemy has to be evasive, has to have evasion in order for the accuracy, quote-unquote, accuracy bonus of the pulse laser to actually benefit you. Whereas here, with the medium X pulses, we just get better chances to hit no matter what. Also, the X pulse lasers fire multiple times. Technically, the clan pulse laser only fires once. The medium X pulse fires 3 times. And so as a result of that, if we miss on the first shot, we're more likely to hit. Now keep in mind we also have the lower arm actuators, we have all the other stuff going on. So, like, the design has not changed all that much, we just swapped out some weapon systems. Let me see, well, I can't show you the catapult, but essentially what I've done with the catapult, the Royal Catapult, currently was only using an LRM-40. I have since used some more clan tech to upgrade, and remove the AMS so that now this catapult is technically an LRM-60. So it is on par, the same level of firepower as the LRM carrier that we currently have. So that makes this thing a much more dangerous indirect fire platform. We also went ahead and put together this Crusader, and I need to find a more garish color scheme. Oh no, I like this one. Yes, that'll do. Anyway, we went ahead and put together a Royal Crusader. And as you can see, this thing has got SRMs out the butt. Now, it's a 65-ton mech, but it moves at a 5.7. It moves at a 5.7. not only does it have almost maxed armor, but we also went ahead and put in heavy armor plating, so it's actually got an extra 20% armor over its normal amount. So its total armor rating is sitting at like 1300? Yeah, 1300 armor. Now, this thing, because we've got a lot of SRMs in the hips and some SRMs in the arms, plus flamers, this thing is going to do a lot of damage, but only up close. That's why we gave it the 330 engine. Again, it's running heat neutral, so all in all, this thing is packing almost the maximum amount of firepower we can put in it. So this is the replacement for the trebuchet, the periphery primitive trebuchet that Dragon Master has been using up to this point. Now, he had asked specifically for a Crusader, and we happened to get our hands on most of a Royal Crusader, and then recently, just in our return to the Inner Sphere, we found a Crusader, took it down, got one part, and now we sit with a Royal Crusader. Now, don't forget, this also gets the easy to maintain quirk, so we get a little bit of bonus on that as well. It also has the Royal Mech quirk, which makes it minus 12 heat at the end of the turn, basically for free. It's just 3 free heat sinks that cost you nothing. So, at the end of the day, this thing's probably going to be a beast, but we're not going to know until we actually put it in. I did ask Deus Ult as the name. Well, I mean, it's your mech, so if that's what you want to call it, that is 100% what we can call it. Unless you meant to say Deus Vult, which, I mean...
Okay.
I'm okay with Ult. But yeah, so this is gonna be Dragon Master's new ride. And then, of course, the last upgrades that we did was to the Ryokans. Now, this is gonna get into the Lance focus that I currently have. The Lance focus is that every mech should fulfill a specific role. Now, before, we were using the Ryokans for close range support. In other words, we had them running up towards the enemy and blasting them with hags and AC-20s and things like that. So, what I've decided to do instead is split the Ryokans up, and they are the scout/skirmisher for the lances that they occupy, because we only have 2 light mechs in the company currently. So we need some light scout and skirmish mechs for the other 2 lances. That's what we're using the Ryokans for. I have since rebuilt them to fill that purpose. They already had the C3I system, which we're trying to get more of, but I've also given them a selection of pulse lasers, 1 large and 3 mediums. This is going to help them get better accuracy against fast-moving targets, which is good for a skirmisher. They've both also got a tag, which will help because we have a lot of guided weapons. And I've added a narc launcher. Now, if you don't understand how this stuff works in BTA, essentially tag only works for guided ammunition or semi-guided ammunition. A great example is, let me show you if we have any. I don't think we have any more guided. We don't. Anyway, we have some guided mortar ammunition, which technically does more damage, but is less accurate unless the target has been marked with a tag system. By putting a tag in both Ryokans, that means that we have multiple tags that can guide not only those mortar rounds, but if we decide to use some of the semi-guided LRM ammunition that we have, as you can see here, same thing, -2 accuracy, but if the target has been marked by a tag, it gets +5 accuracy. So if the target's been marked with tag, we get +3 accuracy to hit, which is a huge bonus. In addition, these semi-guided missiles are actually cheaper at 90 C-bills per round than the regular, which is, oh no, I'm sorry, it's 30 C-bills. I thought it was 120, but anyway, the semi-guided if we're using tag, can be significantly more accurate than the default LRMs. Now, the NARC launcher does what the tag does in the base game. So in the base game, the tag just gives extra accuracy to everybody, period. The NARC launcher now in BTA fills that role. It technically counts as a missile launcher, and you do have to have ammo for it, which we do. But I've given an arc launcher to both of the Ryokens because this is a flat +1 accuracy bonus and 1 evasion ignored for everybody, for every weapon system. The NARC launcher applies to all weapons from all shooters, not just guided munitions. Austin Riley says, see you guys later. Lurk mode activate. Alright, Austin. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, and enjoy your lurk. And Via with the chat as well on a Saturday, saying, "What's up, boss? How's Saturday going?" So far, so good. We had a little bit of scuff with the model, but I'm hoping we got it sorted out. Aside from that, we had a little more scuff. I mean, you know, first stream of the year, and it's the first Saturday stream, so of course, you know, it had to be scuffed. But anyway, what we've done is essentially turn the Ryokens into skirmishing platforms that are meant to be spotters more than direct damage dealers. I think that's a good fit for them because they'll help their lances be more accurate overall, and they'll help the entire platoon once we deploy them together. Narcs last 2 rounds. They do. We've only got 1 bin of ammo, but it contains 20 ammunition. So as long as we use the Narc launcher once every turn or 2, we'll be getting those bonuses. Now, I believe we have some iNarc. Yeah, we've only got 1 bin though, and it only contains 5 ammunition. So the iNarc is basically the same thing, except a little bit better, and also it lasts the entire time. So once you hit somebody with an iNarc, they stay marked for the rest of the battle. As for Bs, gotta try BLRMs at some point. It's funny you should mention that because that's something that I did with the catapult. You can't see it because it's still being worked on. But one of the things that I did with the catapult was to add bee and swarm ammunition. And that is intentionally so that we can fire them at targets that we can't see and actually have a better shot of hitting. Because if you don't know how bee and swarm missiles work, you basically just fire them over the target and then they lock on and hit targets on their own. That makes them bad in close proximity with your own units because they will target friendlies. But if you're just shooting at a sensor ping, that's actually much more effective. So, we'll see how it works, but obviously right now the cat boat is still being worked on. With that being said, chat, that gets you up to speed on where we are with the company. Again, did some stuff off stream just to cut a lot of that out. But now we're ready to go, and we're past the 1 hour mark, so of course now it's time to actually get into some gameplay. Now for those of you that don't remember, or that were not here for the last stream, we slowly started making our way out of clan occupation space further south. We stopped on the Kurita world of Vega, mostly for a travel contract to do some work for Rasselhay, but now that we're here, we also have some work that we can do for local government forces, or we can also do some work for Kurita themselves. Now, we saw this one specifically, which is a blackout mission. I don't like blackout. Blackout missions are kind of a pain in the ass. However, it's also the first 523 salvage mission that we have seen this campaign. That is a lot of salvage by BTA standards. So personally, I'm okay with taking this mission, even if it is for Kurita. I know Urs doesn't like working for Kurita. I don't care personally. I've said before, I work for whoever's money is green, or yellow, or red, or pink, depending on the denomination. For those that don't know, C-bills are much like European money in that They are different colors depending on the denomination. So here, we're working against the Terran hegemony, which is the target that we wanted to fight anyway. So this, to me, is a great opportunity to get some SLDF tech to fight the Terran hegemony and make some money. So it's all good to me. And I think it's a great mission to start out with. I don't like Blackout. I really don't. It's a pain in the ass mission type. But I think we can handle it. So, let me see. Minimum 10 tons. I'm sorry? Are you trying to insinuate that the Orion does not weigh 10 tons? I'm very confused about this. Is there something in the mission that I wasn't paying attention to? Did I miss something here? Let's see. We need you to confirm, blah, blah, blah. Your company will run a patrol through the region, passing by the dumps and establishing communications by tight beam only. Do not attempt to contact the cache by radio and maintain a low profile. Discretion is paramount. I don't... I mean, is there a thing where... I'm very confused. I'm just gonna go with what we're going with. So, again, in the interests of this new Lance-based system, I am gonna have to go and look at my notes. Actually, you know what? Let me just... Lance, load. And we want to clear. We're gonna clear everything out. Okay, it just requires us to have something that's 10 tons. In other words, you can't just do this with bad armor for some reason. But anyway, let me pull up my campaign notes here. And then that way I can get this put in. So... I think because Erst is complaining about having to work for Kirito, we'll leave Alpha Lance out on this one. And we'll go with Bravo Lance. So let me see. That's gonna be... Hold on, it's gonna take me a second to find these mechs. That's gonna be Crappy. That's gonna be Serini. Where's... There we go. There's the Centurion. Let me see. That's gonna be Travis with the brand new Mortar Sidewinder. And then that's gonna be Zombie Wolf. Still using the Wolverine. Nothing wrong with a Wolverine. Let me see. I'm looking for Crappy. I'm looking for Serini. No. Get in your mech. There you go. We need Travis. And we need Zombie Wolf. There we go. Then we'll go with Charlie Lance. That's gonna be Megas. That's gonna be Postal Trout. Where's my crab? There it is. I might as well get these guys put into their mechs properly. And then let me see. We got Sarakek. It doesn't really matter which Ryokan we put him in, because I think it's just by chassis. Yeah, it doesn't care which variant it is. And then Vio in the Panic at the Disco. And then last but not least, that leaves Delta Lance, which is going to be Caffeinated Lemur. And I'm looking for... Oh, we can't. We can't, because Catboat is currently in the shop. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, who else do we have? Caffeinated Lemur, we got Capsty. Where is the Nova? Alright. And then, let me see, who else? Sorry, Chad, I'll get more used to this with time. Then we've got Vin with the Warhawk. And we've got Wreck-It Carl. Where is... There we go. The other Ryokan. So, we'll do that. We'll do that. Let's grab Capsty. And then we'll put in our vehicles. So we're gonna go Arcos. We're gonna go Brewster with the carrier. We're gonna go Wasteland. You know what? We can put in the VTOL this time, I think. Yeah, we're good. We're good on the weight limit. Outstanding. Let me see. I need Wasteland for the Rommel. I need Bob for the AV-Toll. Brewster for the LRM carrier. And Arcos for the Devastator. Now, do we have enough to fill in with shotgun tits? We do not. Unfortunate. But that's just the way it works, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to go in a little bit undertonned. It's a 2.5 skull mission, all things being equal, so I don't see that as being a huge problem. Deltards assemble. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. We'll have to see how Delta does, all things being equal. The Venerable Nova. I remember it finally from MechWarrior 2, which I played when I was 10. I had no idea what I was doing but lasers. Anyway, Chad, I think we're good to go. Let's get underway. And let's beat up the Cameron Dynasty. Seems like a great idea to me.
Mech warriors, prepare for combat.
And here we go, and almost an hour and a half into the stream, we're making it into the first mission. Oh, did I put a wrong pilot in a mech? I might have. I have, on occasion, done stupid things. Who did I mess up? I mean, I guess we'll find out when we actually get into the mission. Again, it's a 2.5 skull mission. I don't expect that it's gonna be, like, the end of the world. But I really do, like, I understand why they don't do it. But I really wish that you could just assign pilots to a mech. And, like, whenever you put that mech in the thing, it would take the pilot with them. I have no idea how difficult that would be to implement in BTA, but I would love it if they let me do that. Well, I mean, if we're talking about MechWarrior 2, I've said before, I have MechWarrior 2 and the expansions sitting on my shelf just right over here. Again, you guys can't see it, but I can, and that's what matters. And Nikolai, I see hydration incoming. Also, did I... Were you fucking donkeys when... Y'all motherfuckers. Y'all over here doing stuff. Give me the thing. You asshole. Sorry, chat. My web browser is refusing to pull up over BTA. There we go. Let me see. I gotta thank some people. Number one, I have to thank Wings of Steel for gifting a community sub an hour ago. I must have missed that. No, I didn't. It was Arrakis that I missed. My bad. Arrakis gifting a recent... God damn. Chat, I'm losing my mind. What the... Arrakis resubscribing at tier 3 for an 18th month. Making it to a year and a half in the Cult of Bed's Tactical Decisions with the 5-to-1 sub ratio chat. Get some green juice in the chat for Arrakis for the insane level of generosity and support with a tier 3 sub for a year and a half, saying woo 1.5 already. Yeah, again, it's hard to believe that it's been that long already. What was that? Oh, that was Swift Draw with 50 Bezos bucks for technically horses in the chat celebration, but I think he did it because it reminds him of donkeys. And then, of course, we have Crappy on the 10 stream streak saying we need to kill some worms so I can get my upgrade. I mean, that depends entirely on what they bring to the field. And Post the Trout as well with 50 Bezos bucks for some haunts in the chat. Mother? Oh my goodness. The scuff is real, chat. The scuff is real.
Command interface initiated.
Alright. Can I have... Okay.
I'm receiving you.
I'm checking.
Good to go. Receiving you.
Yes, Commander.
Waiting for orders.
Skipper? Yes, boss?
Orders?
So who's in the wrong mech? Everybody's right. Y'all motherfuckers are out here making me think I did something wrong. Everybody's in the right mech. What did I forget? What did I do wrong? Anyway,
Waiting for orders.
Bob, it is time for you to pick up your wife. Where is your wife? There's your wife. Time to Princess Carrie. Did we ditch the fire starter? No, wait, we get it. Hold on. Hey,
You have
stab
orders?
it. There you go. There's the fire starter. The fire starter is still here. We have yet to get you an upgrade for it, unless you want an upgrade. Don't forget, we have another Spectre. I could build you a Spectre very similar to the Ben Richards if you'd rather use that. We also have a Raven, which we haven't played around with. So there are other light mech options if you wanted to stay in a light mech. Anyway, we need to get to the target zone, so let's do that.
Piece of cake.
Do we have... I mean, we're not currently picking up any enemy contacts.
Hunkering down.
If it's better for the Lance Comp. That's not how this works. I didn't ask you what was better for the Lance Comp. I asked you what you wanted to do.
Affirmative.
Onward.
On the move.
Let me see. You know what? We can go overland. That's fine.
Location confirmed.
On my way.
Let's see. Warhawk.
I got you. You got it.
Definitely want to keep the vehicles on the road,
Heading out.
because that's... Oh, no. Well, Brewster's gonna have to go the long way. Alright. And there's the enemy contact. It's a trap. Oh no. I mean, it's always a trap in a blackout mission. It is literally always a trap in a blackout mission.
Fire. Standing by.
Let me see. Crappy. We got PPC turret, shredder turret, don't like that. Large laser turret, and then we got, what is this? Another, oh god. We got an AC-20 turret in my people's rear armor. This might be a disaster. Because the turrets just... Either I missed them, or they literally just got spawned in. This is why I don't like blackout missions, Chad.
Commander?
If you want to know why I don't like blackout missions, this is it right here. Let me see. Close range. Can we shoot, please? There we go. I mean, we can do a lot of damage, it's just...
There's a hole in my armor.
Now, Chad... You know I'm not normally one to want to restart. But when we just get one-time lethaled by turrets that we couldn't even fucking see... Like, understand. Our heat lance was right here. So, if we just didn't move, this AC-20 turret would still be sitting right here. So, for us to lose a pilot because, one, the turrets just magically spawn, and two, they all just magically get to go in Initiative 10, so that there's literally no way for us to destroy the turret, like, that to me is bullshit. That's just a, fuck you, you're gonna take AC-20 rounds to the face. So, I'm making the executive decision, and we're gonna reload on that one, because that's bullshit. I have said many times before that I don't mind a challenge when the challenge is something that I can overcome. That situation, there was no getting out of it. Like, even by the time I saw it and I'm like, okay, I see the turrets, we need to do something about that. The only way that we could have done it is if the turrets were in their correct initiative phase, as opposed to all of them just immediately getting to go right away. Yeah, like, there was no challenge to overcome there. Because I literally had Crappy with the hardest hitting weapon we have, hitting on the hardest hitting damage setting, and it didn't destroy the turret. So, there was no escape from that. Somebody was going to take an AC-20, and of course, it just happened to be right there, next to my LRM carrier. Like, the one unit in the entire company that cannot take an AC-20. So, again, I don't like restarting, I don't like flipping the table and rage quitting, but that was 100% bullshit. The scuff continues. Yes, it does. That's okay. The only problem is we're going to have to reload the game, which is going to take a minute. Then we're going to have to go back and reload the mission, which is going to take a couple minutes. So, yeah. And as I said, you want to know why I hate fucking blackout missions? This is why I hate blackout missions. Because out of all the mission types in the game, out of all the BTA mission types, blackout is fucking notorious for that shit. Blackout is notorious for that, just like, and then you were surrounded by enemies. So, we'll try it one more time. If the game decides to fuck us again, we're gonna do a different mission. With that being said, thankfully it does save our Lance comp, so you don't have to wait for me to do all that again. I'm just double checking to make sure everything's good. Because somebody was out here saying that I put the wrong pilot in the wrong mech, and I don't see that. So... we're going for it. Remember, this is a 2.5 skull mission. That would not have been a problem if not for the fact that the game was just like, and then your fucking LRM carrier gets blasted at point blank with an AC-20. Oh, shit, chat. I think when I was... I don't know. I think I pulled something today. I think when I was doing my exercise this morning after I got up, I didn't feel it until now, but I'm starting to feel it. My left arm kind of hurts. Wait, so I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but like 10 or 12 years ago, I was working at shitty menial labor job, and I ended up getting tearing my my bicep tendon in my left arm, and it wasn't a complete tear, but it was like a 65% tear. It was bad, and I was out of work for like 3 months. I was on workers' comp for like 3 months. And sometimes, like, especially if I just, like, when I'm working out, if I just work myself a little too hard, like, I can feel it right in my elbow. And I think that's what it is. Because it's just, like, right on the inside of my elbow. Every time I bend or rotate or whatever, it kind of hurts. And it's not, like, a sharp pain. It's just, like, a dull, you know, that hurt. I mean, I don't know what arthritis feels like, but from what I've been told about it, it feels a lot like the way that arthritis has been described. That dull, throbbing pain. So I'm thinking maybe I lifted a little too much weight this morning. Maybe I just pushed myself a little bit too hard. I don't know, but it'll be all right. Well, I don't think it's nerve damage, because it doesn't hurt all the time. It's only when I strain that arm. Like, if I do a lot of work with my left arm, it'll start to hurt. And that's what I'm thinking is, I probably just worked it a little too hard this morning. That's what she said. Tore mine completely last April. It's seriously limiting what I can do in the gym, even after having a surgeon reassemble my elbow. 3 months of therapy, another 4 months taking it easy. Yeah, they had me go into physical therapy during my workers' comp. Because, you know, with workers' comp, they always try to... Like, they don't want to admit that you have a problem because they don't want to have to pay for it. And so they sent me to physical therapy for the injury. And then I was doing that for about a month. And then one day I went to physical therapy, and I had just, like, 1 or 2 days before that, I had gone to get an MRI of my elbow. Because they were still convinced that I was faking it. And I went into physical therapy that day, and I was just doing some light stuff. And the doctor, like, was there with me, and he was, like, working me through it and all this. And he gets a call, and he's like, oh, hey, I gotta go answer this call. It's about your MRI. Just keep doing what you're doing, and I'll be back. And so he goes, I can see him, like, across the place, because it was just a small little office. And I could see him across the office, and he was on the phone, and he was talking, and he's looking at me. And as soon as he hung up the phone, he, like, power walks over to me very quickly, and he's like, okay, stop everything you're doing and just hold what you got. Don't put any more strain on your arm. And I, like, immediately I was like, well, that was a very fast 180. And he, like, we go over to his desk and we sit down and he's like, so we just got your MRI back and it turns out you have like a 65% tear in your bicep tendon and all of this physical therapy has probably made it worse. And I was like, you don't fucking say. It's almost like after a month of me telling you it doesn't do any good and it just makes my arm hurt. And you just said, oh, quit being a baby, it's gonna hurt, it'll get better, except I've been telling you for a month that it isn't getting better. It's weird, it's almost like I was right the whole fucking time. And so, after that, they basically were like, yeah, okay, we're gonna send you to a specialist. The specialist was like, yeah, you're not gonna do any lifting or anything with that arm for the next 3 months, and then come back in 3 months and we'll see how you're doing. He did give me a very light exercise regimen. He was like, don't lift anything, but just like bend at the elbow a little bit every day so that, you know, your muscles don't atrophy. But he was like, don't pick up anything, not even a can of soup. And I was like, all right. And so I literally just got to sit at home for 3 months and do nothing and got paid for it. And I think they did that because they knew they fucked up. Like, they knew they fucked up by making me go to physical therapy because it probably made the injury worse, or at least stopped it from healing as quickly as it would have. And I think that was their way of like, oh shit, let's just quickly slap a band-aid on this, no pun intended, so that this person doesn't sue us for malpractice. Because they were so desperate to like prove that I was full of shit and that I wasn't in any pain and all this and that, and it's like, you know, I wasn't bullshitting you. Like, from day one there was an issue. So, yeah. Anyway, chat, let's hope that this one goes a little better. It looks like it's the same map, and the turrets are actually showing up this time. Now we can actually see them. They're different turrets, but they're still worth looking at. I think we'll be a little more... what's the word? I think I'll use a little more discretion instead of just immediately charging forward. Just in case the game decides to spawn some extra shit. Now, Bob, why is your wife melded with the Nova? Capsty.
Waiting for
No,
orders.
that's not the Nova. What is that? Oh, it's one of the Ryokans. Okay. I need... Well, which Ryokan is it?
Yes, Commander. Yes, Commander.
No, there we go. I want... Carl? Okay, it is Carl. And I don't know what kind of turret this is, so I'm gonna send our scout forward to figure it out.
That, Commander.
And now that we've gotten Crappy out from underneath the Ryokan's nutsack, we can have my mans go get picked up. With a clanner scandal. I mean, you know, that's something that Bob and Crappy are gonna have to work out on their own. Let's see. We have... Oh my god, it's a blaze. And it's not... Jesus, it's not just a blazer turret. It's an improved blazer. Look, I would love to get my hands on some improved blazers just to upgrade the Cheech and Chong. Can I not? It's not gonna let me see the stats on it. That's alright. Do we preemptively shoot at the turrets? I feel like we should.
I'm here.
Vio, I'm gonna have you start taking off as well. I'll have you go this way to get some intel on the other turrets. Crappy, just brace up.
Roger that.
Serini, same story. I want you to get... Oh, right. Yeah. All right. Then just get into the trees.
I'm going.
We'll use some cover. I'm gonna have Travis hang back because a mortar platform doesn't need to be in the front. Zombie Wolf, same thing. What's your maximum sprint range? Battletech, give me my pips. There we go. Let me see. Quagmire, same story. Get to the trees.
I understand.
Cheech and Chong, I'm gonna keep towards the back line.
Location confirmed.
Go ahead and send the other Ryokan forward. We can get 7 evasion from there. Let's see. Nova to the tree line. To the tree line.
You got it.
Devastator to the tree line.
Watch
LRM carrier, you just hang back. I'm not having you get blown up this time. Give me my pips, Battletech. Okay. I guess we'll do that.
Position confirmed.
And Daddy's belt, same thing. Advance to the tree line.
Onward.
And let's see what they're gonna do. Okay.
It's on now.
We got a 50-ton vehicle floating around out there. I mean, I think I'll just reserve to 1 and let's see what happens. Okay, we got a bulldog. Something else. Okay, that 50-tonner is coming up the road.
I'm your spaniel.
I kind of want to just send in Vio
Waiting for orders.
to trigger whatever's gonna happen. I don't know if that's gonna be close enough to the target zone. Let's do it anyway.
Piece of cake.
Not close enough. But it is close enough to take a couple of heavy laser shots at the bulldog.
Piece of cake.
And I guess that was not enough to trigger, so...
Receiving you.
let's see about getting the Ryokan in here. And, yep, there we go. So it is, in fact, gonna trigger the turrets. Unfortunately, this Ryokan is not gonna be able to shoot at the turrets, so we're just gonna go ahead and blast the bulldog with the weapon systems we have.
It's go time.
And there we go.
Target eliminated.
Are we fighting Team Rocket or something? I mean, if you're just looking at the logo,
Yes, Commander.
probably. Let's see. King Bob.
Orders.
Oh, right. Another change that I made
I copy.
was to the VTOL. I switched out the MML launcher, which fires both short-range and long-range missiles. I switched it out with a Clan LRM-15, which increases the damage output, and doesn't... Well, okay, it increases the long-range damage output. Close range, it's not really gonna help, but... because the Clan LRM launcher doesn't have a minimum range like the Inner Sphere launcher does, this technically means we're getting more raw damage.
Yep.
So, I'm gonna go with it. Oh god, what? Okay, so we went from AC-2 turrets to fucking double blazer turrets. Good lord.
Locking in all weapons. Orders.
Crappy, give me target prediction. And then we're gonna take a shot. I mean, this guy already has taken some damage. If we go with short range, we get a little bit of a damage bonus. And that's 1 turret off the field.
That turret is gone.
Why is the VTOL in SRM range, especially with sniper on board? Because this is the cult of bad tactical decisions. Speaking of, chat, I had an idea. I had an idea. Because while I was looking in the shop at this planet, there's a Dakota, which is an aerial transport. It's light, it's lightly armed, and it's fast. But it has room for battle armor. Now, I said before that I would consider battle armor again, but only if we did it in a VTOL. Now, because we can put 2 squads of battle armor in the VTOL, I don't know, don't misunderstand. I'm not thinking about putting the battle armor on the field. I'm thinking about just keeping it in the VTOL, but because it's a light and fast VTOL, I'm thinking we can run it essentially like an AC-130 and just have it do hit and run attacks like close air support. That was my thought. I'll let you guys discuss amongst yourselves whether it's a good idea. Anyway, next up, we don't have anybody with the tag, but... No, we do. We have Wreck-It Carl. Alright, nice. Alright, so Carl, here's what I'm gonna have you do.
Affirmative, Commander.
I'm gonna have you charge in, and you're gonna take a shot at this turret, this blazer turret. And if it doesn't kill it...
Fun time.
We've now tagged it,
Good to go.
which then means
Orders.
the Catgirl Mortar Squad
Moving to position.
can now fire guided ammunition and potentially hit this thing. So you know what? Let's do that.
Firing.
And there we go.
Done. Here we go. Turret neutralized.
I mean, you kind of
Not
destroyed...
much armor left in that location.
You kind of destroyed half the base, and you also did a little blue on blue, but I think it'll be alright.
Waiting for orders.
Serena, you're up next.
Hauling ass.
Oh, we have this. Quad PPC turret. Don't like that. Do not like that. I feel like that's gonna be the bigger threat. So,
Got it, Commander.
we'll focus down the PPC turret first, and we'll try to take out the Calliope turret if we can.
Confirmed.
I don't know if we'll be able to. On the plus side, turrets are stationary, so that makes them pretty easy to hit. Okay, there we go. Turret down.
That turret is gone. How might I help?
Megas, you got plasma and SRMs, and plasma is exceptionally effective against vehicles and structures. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We'll hit them with the acid, and we'll hit them with the... You know what? I'll throw in some mag pulse as well. We'll hit them with everything.
Firing!
There we go.
Orders.
That's the turrets down. Now, at least in terms of what we've got on sensors, we've just got this 50-ton vehicle coming down the road.
Got it.
So we'll have to see what happens from here. We are just inside sensor range or just outside? No, technically that counts as outside sensor range. Cody says, Boss Lady and company, I need to head out. Hope to be back soon. Poi. Well, poi to you as well, Cody. And again, hopefully you can get work over with quickly.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Capsty, sorry that you didn't really get a chance to do anything
Double
interesting.
time.
Skipper. All right, let's move. Waiting for orders.
Okay, Arcos. Unfortunately, with vehicles, it's gonna take us a minute, but
It is go time.
we can side-slip to speed that up just a little bit.
Ready for orders.
Brewster, I'm not gonna side-slip
Pick up.
you because I'm gonna hang you in the bay. Wasteland, same story. Think we just start moving to the road.
Roger that.
Onward! No retreat!
Alright. Again, I'll just reserve to 1 because we've only got 1 enemy on the field. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. And it is a Drillson. Which ain't nothing. Let me see.
Ready for orders.
I think we can have some hot tank on tank action.
Let's move.
Give him the Drillson, Wasteland.
Engaging target.
I mean, that would have been better if you actually hit,
How's it going?
but I guess it'll be alright. Let's see if Arcos has any better luck.
Firing.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Hostile eliminated.
Once again proving that magnificent facial hair is all you really need to be successful on the battlefield.
Got something you want done? Affirmative.
Loki Wee says, gonna go lurk. I just got some bad news I need to process. Take care. Alright, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Don't know what it is, but obviously you don't have to share. If you decide that you want to later, though, remember that we do have the Medbay board and channel on the Discord, so if you do want to talk with some folks about it after you've had some time to process, regardless of what it is, we do have folks that are there and willing to talk and to listen. But hopefully you get it all sorted out.
Yep.
Let's see. Brewster, move
Roger
up.
that.
I mean, we're supposed to be heading to this next base, which is like over the mountain, but I'm actually okay with like going up the mountain and then using the elevation.
Ready for orders.
Crappy's not gonna be able to do shit,
Orders.
but everybody else can start making their way in
Affirmative.
that direction.
Commander. Copy that.
Commander. Double time. Let's go.
Vergan says, I returned. Lost internet right after the Marauder BA comment. Marauder BA comment?
Aye, aye.
What?
Yeah.
I'm
Fuck it out.
confused.
Awaiting
Let's
orders.
see. Megas.
Certainly.
You got a lot of people to move.
Commander?
I'm a little reluctant to have my people go charging forward, but that's what scouts are for, so let's do it.
Commander. On the move. Full speed.
Like, scouts literally exist to get stuck into the
I
shit
hear ya.
before everybody else gets there, so that's what we'll go in.
Confirm. Roger, Skipper. Taking it.
We're talking about battle armor utilized in the VTOL. Someone mentioned Marauder battle armor is a good choice for this strat. I don't think I've seen Marauder battle armor.
Ready to rock.
And Hell's Razor in the chat on a Saturday. Good to see you, Hell's Razor. Thanks for joining us. Saying Happy New Year, everyone. Well, Happy New Year to you as well. Hopefully, it's been treating you well thus far. I mean, they got a turn, but it
They will be done.
doesn't look like they had anything going on. Let's just
Waiting for orders.
keep Bob moving.
Roger.
Rolling.
Good to go.
And we will just continue. I'm not going to do that just yet.
What can I do?
I'm going to move everybody else before I move my scouts.
What's up, Commander?
I have Vin. Go ahead and move forward.
Roger that, Commander.
Arcos.
What do you need?
Brewster. I think it's time for side
Give 'em
slip.
everything you've got.
And let's try to make as much ground as we can.
I'm ready.
And Wasteland, you're up next. I think I'm gonna have you go up the mountain
I'm walking here.
and let us now get our scouts moving towards the objective. I see more turrets and I don't like it. Given the way the last engagement with turrets ended up going.
I got you.
Okay, what are we doing? Next up,
What's up, boss?
King Bob, same story, go for the mountain.
Moving out.
Give me Wasteland, we're gonna side slip,
I await your
and we're
command.
gonna make best speed.
Moving to position.
Try and get an overwatch position up there.
Taking a protective stance.
Moving out.
Copy that.
Consider it done.
Moving out.
Go ahead and
On
get
my
our
way.
scout mechs up there.
On my way.
Don't need to tell me twice.
10-4.
Okay.
Acknowledged.
Yes, I'm there.
And once again, the LRM carrier way in the back. Way into the bag. Looks like Marauder battle armor is primarily Marian hegemony. I guess that makes sense. Okay, so we definitely have some turrets.
Yes, Commander.
And they're probably definitely gonna attack us. So let's see which ones we have. We got an LRM turret. We got an Ultra AC-10 turret. I only see one other turret, but there's usually 4. So where's turret number 4? Out here somewhere, maybe? Yeah, that makes me nervous.
Ready.
But let's go ahead and get in here.
Moving to position.
And let's see what happens. Okay, ambush with Max. That was to be expected. That's why I had our scouts go first. I'm hoping that 7 evasion is gonna keep my man safe. Oh, they're gonna get spawn protection though. Aren't they? Wait, they're not getting spawn protection? They're just getting 8 evasion? Okay, so we got an Uziel, we got a hyena. I feel like this is fate. I feel like this is fate. Spawn protection is 8 evasion, but it's also something else. There would actually be a thing here that says spawn or spawn protection. Let's see, what else? I peek at an Ostrock. Well. Okay.
I live to serve. Acknowledged.
Let's have Bob
for orders.
continue to head up here and take the high ground. Now, I'm interested to see what happens with these turrets.
Acknowledged.
I'm wondering if they're gonna flip. Oh, we don't actually get the opportunity to fire.
Receiving you.
Right.
Roger.
Because
Venting,
they
heating,
just popped
stabilizing.
in, so...
Roger that.
We just need to focus on getting as much
Roger that.
evasion on our mechs as possible so that we don't get stomped.
On my way.
Thankfully, we do have
Moving out.
a couple of other fast mechs that can get into close combat with these guys quickly.
I'm there. Affirmative, Commander.
We see Devastator, do what you
On my
can.
way.
Brewster is gonna be a long time before you get to where you need to be. My man's is
On my way.
close to his objective.
Hell yes.
Now let's see what's gonna happen. Okay, we got a few moves in initiative phase 10 and 8. So who's going first? The Hollander 2 is actually
go.
going first. So let's do target prediction. And let's take a shot. We got close range, medium range, long range. Long range is good accuracy, but close range is better.
Acknowledged.
And Crappy's right back to his old ways.
Yes, Commander.
That 8 evasion is gonna be a bitch.
Ready to get it on.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what the turrets are gonna do.
Ready for orders.
If they end up doing anything. Hyena is a full melee build, so we'll have to be careful about that. Let's see. I want maximum evasion, so let's do this.
Hey, let's see what this baby can do.
Might as well give him the whole 9 yards.
I'm gonna give him the big bubble.
Again, not gonna hit as much as I'd like. Alright, what are you gonna do? Alright, that might have been the mistake we needed you to make.
Standing by.
Zombie Wolf, you're able to get in close enough to
On my
actually
way,
have a
double
shot.
time.
So let's take it.
Target acquired. Yes, Commander.
Brewster, I don't think there's any world in which you're gonna get close enough to do anything this turn, but
Good.
you gotta try. I'm sorry? I heard that. That was a vehicle.
I'm receiving you.
Are they trying to bring a vehicle up the road again?
Full throttle.
Are there stealth vehicles? Hyena doing hyena things?
Damage minimal.
Standing
Alright,
by.
post the trout. Can you? Oh yeah, you can get a shot.
No shooting, just running. Got it.
Might as well take a shot at the Hollander.
Giving him everything I've got.
Oh, nice. Win the double whammy. Still some left of the V-Lance you shot at earlier. No, I get that. I'm just like, where are they, though? Because we're not picking them up on sensors. I heard the vehicle, but I don't see whoever it is that did that. Alright, before my mans gets a mud hole stomped in his ass, let's get you turned around. And let me see. Oh, center torso? Alright, so then let's narc up the hyena.
Run.
I
And
hear ya.
give me...
Yup.
Okay, it's just Capsty. Well, guess I'll overheat and die.
Affirmative.
Let's see. Precise strike?
Uh-huh.
That's a lot of laser. That is a lot of laser.
Another hit like that and you're toast.
Yeah.
What are your orders, Skipper?
I agree. Another hit like that and you are toast indeed. I'll take 6 evasion. Blast him. Engine destroyed, and that's gonna be what? 1 salvageable part? Yeah. I was hoping for a little more than that, but it's whatever.
Enemy flanking.
Okay. Not cool.
Armor breach. Internal damage. Standing by.
Definitely gonna have to say something about that. I guess we'll go for the high ground.
Alright, let's see what this thing can do.
The Uziel still hasn't fired. Or still hasn't moved. I think we focus down the hyena if we can.
Engaging with target.
And Swift Draw gifting a sub to Heavy Owo Corpse. Or Heavy Owo Core.
They've got a sensor lock on me.
Either way, thank you Swift Draw for the gifted sub. And Heavy Owo, welcome into the cult of bad tactical decisions, where we have only one flavor of Kool-Aid, but it is Ecto Cooler. I don't see them in the chat. Were you just gifting a sub randomly?
I'm here.
Alright, Wasteland, you have arrived where I need you to be. So let's do what you do.
May I interest you in melting armor?
Injured, side torso destroyed.
Solid connection on that one.
Orders.
And Travis is now
Affirmative.
in range. I don't know if the mortars can damage aircraft. I know that they shouldn't. But I don't want to find out the hard way that they can. I hate to do it. I might just have to not use Travis this time around. Because they've already breached the armor for Crappy, and my concern there is if the mortars do damage him, we could accidentally kill Crappy. Everybody's danger close at the moment. This is the disadvantage to a mortar boat. Really good until the enemy is within pissing distance. As much as I hate to do it, Travis, I'm gonna have to have you wait it out. I probably should have just reserved you, but it's whatever. Megas, just keep trucking.
Confirmed.
Let's see. Vin is ready to go. I'll have him take the high ground. And let's say hello with 4 ERP PCs. Actually, you know what? A melee design can't hurt the Hollander. You know what can, though, is an Ostrich. What's the Uziel packing? The double PPC loadout? Shit. Alright. If we precise strike on the Uziel, the only problem is we run a definite risk of hitting our own people in the back. I'm gonna take a shot.
Firing.
Ah, that's exactly what I was hoping was not gonna
You
happen.
like that? I'm
But
moving
we
armor
did
band.
take out a leg. So that's gonna put those PPCs on the ground for a turn, which is excellent. Turret's going live. Okay. And they're not friendly. And of course they get to just take shots. Bullshit.
Orders?
Aye, Crappy. What can you hit? From here, nothing. Well, I don't like that. But I also can't do anything about it. So as much as I hate to do it, I'm just gonna have to reserve you and hope that you don't get blown up.
Getting banged up real good here.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Oh, crap. Oh. That hit me.
Kylet is bleeding
Standing
out.
by.
Outstanding. Let's reserve again.
Holding for tactical advantage.
Bob, again, stay in motion. This'll give us a shot at a large chunk of the battlefield? That's better.
On the move. Full speed.
Alright, I want shots on the Uziel. Let's see if we can take it out completely. I'll even do a precise strike on this. Actually, you know what? I really need to get rid of this turret. God, both of these things are threats. We'll go for the headshot.
Copy that.
The turret has already gone. If we can take the Uziel out before it
Yes,
has a
Commander.
chance to get up. Shoot him in the back.
Acknowledged.
That'll do. That'll do.
Target's taking a critical hit. Yeah?
Alright, Vio. Again, I need something done here. Okay, let's blast this asshole in the back.
Giving them everything I've got.
Somehow he's not dead. That's impressive.
Nice. Orders?
Alright, zombie wolf.
Full speed. No target.
Alright, what do we got? We could take a shot at the Uziel. We can take a shot at the turret. Take a shot at that turret as well. That's just large laser. I mean, again, not that it isn't a threat. But the double AC-10 turret, to me, is the biggest threat at the moment. But it's already gone. Okay, so we got the hyena. We got the Ostrak. Both are coming up soon. Ostrak I still think is the bigger threat, so let's see about putting some hurt on him. Does the VTOL have a clan LRM? Do we have this at the setting that lets us modify vehicles? Yeah, we do. It's not very good, but every once in a while it's actually useful.
Waiting for orders.
Brewster, you're still... Oh my goodness. Brewster has finally gotten in range of something.
I copy.
Go, go, gadget, sandpaper.
One less turret.
And in a single volley, completely destroys a turret.
Yes, Commander.
Again, I don't like that vehicle, whatever the fuck it is. Wherever the fuck it is. The fact that I can't see it, I don't like. We don't even really need precise strike. Save it for next turn. You've already got 99% chance to hit without it, so
Receiving you.
we'll just continue with what we're doing.
Let's move.
Postal, if you could please
Let's see how you like this.
get rid of that turret.
Hell yes. That turret is gone.
Oh, okay, 67, so
Receiving you.
that is all the turrets. It's just 3. That'll do, pig. That'll do. I need... Give me maximum evasion, but also a shot in the rear armor. That'll do.
Run, don't shoot. Got it.
Full alpha, if you would, please.
Locking in. All weapons.
Okay,
What can I do for ya?
Capsty, this man has just been narked. Use it to your advantage. As a matter of fact, give me target prediction just for funsies. And somehow,
When I shoot you, you'll take it and like it.
somehow, he's still alive.
Confirmed.
Our man's is bleeding out. He's still got 3 activations. I kind of want to make sure that we get you where you need to be. But I also don't want to... I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna do this. And let's blast them in the face, if we can. Still not dead. Okay. What's it gonna be? What is this man trying to do?
Yes, Commander.
Like, you're a melee mech and you have yet to melee anything. What is your plan?
Roger.
And there we go. That's the Uziel off the field. That's 2 PPCs we don't have to worry about.
Waiting for orders.
Wasteland. Let me see. Go ahead and continue to move in the tree line.
Going full throttle.
And if you would please, give me a Gauss rifle in this dude's back.
Acknowledge.
Out fucking standing.
Do the math, Chief. One less target.
Alright. So we got one more turret and the hyena, which
Commander,
is mostly running scared.
roger that.
Let me see. Give me 1 volley of Inferno, and the rest will be AoE, and let's drop it on this turret. And there we go. Indirect fire doing what it does best.
Reporting.
Taking out stationary emplacements.
Of course. Skipper.
Then, alright. Let's see. Get you a clear line of sight.
Double time. Let's go.
And give him all 4 barrels. Give him the double-double.
All weapons. Go. It's go time. Bye-bye.
Mission successful.
Okay, well apparently we didn't have to destroy the vehicles. I have mixed feelings about that mission. I have mixed feelings. Alright, let's see. I mean, we only spent 38,000 in ammo this time around. That's an improvement. Alright, so the Hollander's gonna need a little bit of work. It took some internal damage. Reggae Carl did take an injury, so he's gonna be out for a couple of weeks. On the plus side, he gets to spend 2 weeks staring at nurses in short skirts and getting paid to do nothing. So I'd say he made out pretty well. Alright, now let's see what we've got on the table. I guess we gotta take the Hollander 2-part, as much as I hate to do it. We got 3 out of 4 on the improved binary lasers. I feel like we have to take him so we can upgrade the crab, right? Because there's not a whole lot else that we absolutely have to have. So we'll take, you know what? I mean, I could take all 3 just so we've got an extra one. But then there's also that part of me that's like, I kind of want to take the Uziel parts. We could also take the Drillson parts. I don't know, chat. What do you think? Because I could take another blazer, an improved blazer. And then, what else do we have? I mean, there's not a whole lot else that's worth having, but... like, a Gauss rifle, maybe an Uziel part. Just to see what we get, and then... you know. Blazer and a Beagle. Isn't the Beagle just a crappier version of the Guardian ECM? I mean, I guess we could take it anyway. It's not gonna hurt anything. Alright, let's do it, chat. Let's see what we get. They gave us 3 Drillsons, a Bulldog, the Hyena, the Ostruk. Some large lasers, ER and regular. I don't need medium lasers. I don't need LRM ammo, don't need machine gun ammo. I still wish I could sell these mech parts from here, but it's whatever. Slap a Beagle in anything that can fit it. I mean, I have always canonically imagined that whenever a Beagle probe picks up a sensor contact, it makes a Beagle noise, like a Beagle's barking.